Welcome to Two Tangled Skeins.
She's like, I'm going to press it. Are you ready? I'm going to press it now.
It doesn't do the, because we're using a different way to record, and it doesn't do the 3, 2, 1. It's like now. So, welcome to Two Tangled Skeins. I'm Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7. Today is Saturday, June 24th, 2017. I would like to welcome new and returning viewers.
I'm Lynn, also known as Toll Baby. We're still missing our Selma.
I know.
One of these days we'll get her to come back.
Yep.
You can find us on Ravelry, Facebook. Our blog is at twotangleskeins.com. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and we all have Etsy shops as well.
We're everywhere. Does it look blurry to you?
Everything looks blurry to me.
Oh, I'm hoping it's not blurry.
I'm still having glasses issues. I think we're fine.
It's fine. Close up.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. So, foes, none to speak of.
Nope. I've had no knitting mojo the last 2 weeks.
I would have had a foe, but here's the thing. My Atman shawl, I was counting. According to the pattern, she tells you all the counts for when you finish rows. Everything was perfect. Got to the edging.
Not perfect.
Not off. No, I mean, not on. It was off by 2 stitches, and no matter what I did, I couldn't fix it. So I'm like, okay, I'll rip back just a little bit. No, I'll rip back a little bit more. No. So half the shawl is gone. And Selma's like, you need to finish it. I'm like, I don't know what I need to do, but it's in the corner right now because I'm not liking it. And you know what? It's a DK weight shawl, and it can wait.
Because you ain't going to be wearing it anytime soon.
Nope. So,
the main reason I have had no knitting mojo is because it's damn hot.
your AC in yet?
No. Rob's going to fix it when he comes next weekend.
Okay.
Because, yeah, we're going to need to screw it into the wooden thing that my dad made for the window.
For you, yeah.
Because last year they put it up with duct tape.
No.
Duct tape. I used an entire roll of damn duct tape last week. Couldn't get it to stay.
No. I think, yeah.
Duct tape isn't supposed to stick to wood. It especially doesn't stick to, what did Rob call this stuff?
Around the wall and around the windows?
It almost looks like paneling sort of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Duct tape really does not stick to that.
No, I wouldn't think so.
So, yeah, I don't have any AC. I only have the one fan. This is not working for me. Although at least I'm not spending my week in the sweltering hot house.
No, because guess what?
I got a job!
Wait, you started your job.
I started my job last Monday. So, and the office is air conditioned. Not adequately, but it's air conditioned.
She's about 4 blocks from me and Selma.
Yep. I'm just down the street.
Yep.
So, I'm now no longer an unemployed person.
And
that's
lovely
lovely.
where you are.
Yes, I'm really enjoying my job, so
Yep.
I'm very happy.
Hooray!
I'm not going to tell you all where I live, or where I work, because then I will hear no end of it.
So,
I work in a government department that deals with client complaints, basically.
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't need to get them out of work.
So what are you knitting on?
Do I need a moment? I need a moment. I'm currently knitting on my Afterthought Everything socks. I finished my first heel. Ta-da!
That's amazing.
I'm working on my second heel. Ta-da!
What heel do you do?
Oh, this is just an Afterthought heel.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's a heel.
That requires too much brainage for me right now.
Does that really hurt? Hi.
We've both been having mobility issues the last couple of weeks. So she's got shoulder problems. And
I'm finally
back
starting physio after the accident. Yes, a month and a half later.
Yeah.
Bureaucracy, I tell you.
Well, you know. And I did something to my hip at Easter that kept getting worse and worse and worse until last week where I could barely walk.
But it's good that
and
you
then
can
in the
walk
last
this week.
the last couple of days it started to feel better. The first couple of days I was at work,
Yeah.
every time I'd stand up I'd be like hobbling around, and my boss was like, "Is that permanent?" And I'm like, "No, this is hopefully going to go away soon." I have an appointment with my doctor on Monday, just in case. So, cool. This is by Erica Broughton. No,
Kempf Broughton.
I knew I had that out of order. Mine is, I'm looking at yours and I'm like,
sorry.
no, I'm not using that. Mine is out of Juliana's Fiber in the Luna colorway, which I love. It's one of my favorite yarns of hers. And I don't know what the orangey pinky stuff is. So there we are.
Looks like a mouth.
It does. It's a Muppet mouth.
Oh.
Yes, we're easily amused.
Yes.
You knew that.
Yeah.
And it's being done on 2.5mm needles, which is a US 1.5. Your turn. Oh, no, it's not.
Just like, I'm knitting the same thing, but you have other things on the
sorry.
needles.
Yes, I do. I keep forgetting. I literally have barely touched my knitting this week. It was funny because all the girls, when we got to... Tanya got married. Tanya of the Afterthoughts... No. Tanya of the After Hours podcast. I swear I have brains somewhere. I just don't have them with me right now. It's been a rough week. As you can tell, I sound terrible because I felt terrible. So last week, Tanya of the... I'm going to move forward because my butt keeps squeaking against the chair.
People needed to know that.
Like I said, I need a moment. I think I'm going to need a moment for a few days. Tanya got married last weekend. And I was there, and Sarah of the Canadian Knitter podcast was there, and Jen of the Uncreative Crafters podcast was there. Michael from the Gay Knitter podcast was there, and Jessica from the... What's Jessica? She's Sarah Nova Crafts. And Mandy of the Mandy Pinecone Crafts podcast was there.
I couldn't make it.
What's Garrett's podcast? Garrett has a podcast. I don't remember what it is.
Sarah's
I'm sorry.
husband. Sorry.
So Sarah's husband, Garrett, has a podcast as well. So there was a whole bunch of podcasters there, and it was kind of awesome.
How many were missing? There was me,
you, Andrea, Brandy, Amanda, and Rachel.
So there's 5. So
yeah,
we're like a group of 12 or so.
Thereabouts. Yeah, and Jeanette was there. So the whole bunch of us were at this wedding. Sarah, Jen, and Mandy were the bridesmaids. Yep. And it was kind of funny because we were just handing out bridesmaid bouquets, and she hands one to me, and I'm like, I can't do this. I'm taking pictures. Sarah! So it was just like mix and match bridesmaids. There was nothing organized. It was just kind of like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I was taking pictures, and poor Tanya hasn't even seen my pictures yet because my camera is still at my mother's house where I forgot it last weekend.
But what a beautiful bride.
Yes, her dress was amazing. She looked awesome.
Amazing.
Sarah did her makeup. Mandy did her hair.
Oh, she looked stunning.
I just did her lunch.
I have chills. Yeah. She was just, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there, but Father's Day and a birthday kept me here.
It was a lot of fun. I did make it back in time for Father's Day dinner at my parents' house. So
oh, that's cool.
I was good.
What else was great about that weekend? Someone from down south?
Brandy didn't come.
No. More south than us?
Well, Rob was there.
But, thank you.
I mean, of course he was there.
I know, but still.
He was with me.
I know, but you got to see Rob.
Yes, it was actually, and we're never going to do it this way again. He flew into Toronto, and I picked him up at the airport, but we fly Porter usually, which flies into the small island airport in Toronto and not the big one. That airport is a nightmare to get to in a car. By
Pearson?
car? No, we were at Billy Bishop.
Oh, Billy Bishop.
Our hotel was at Pearson. Our hotel was, yeah.
Oh, because you flew Porter. Sorry.
Yes. He flew Porter, so I had to go pick him up at the Billy Bishop Airport, which is right downtown in Toronto. It's like a couple of blocks from the CN Tower. I don't know if you've ever driven in downtown Toronto, but if you haven't, don't.
So what other city could you compare it to?
It was worse than driving downtown in Chicago. Oh yeah, way worse than Chicago.
I wasn't driving, I was in the back seat.
I can handle driving downtown in Chicago. That doesn't bother me. Toronto is insane because Toronto has streetcars that run on rails.
Right.
And there are places where the streetcar runs on the same pavement as the cars, and there are places where only the streetcars run, and there's no signage telling you which is which.
Guess what? We're a streetcar right now.
When I came out of the airport, I almost ended up in the streetcar lane, and I finally turned, but I couldn't figure out where the actual car lane was, so I said, oh, screw it, and I went the other way. Toronto is awful to drive in. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. And so I told him, I said, next time...
Pearson?
Well, no, next time he can take a GO train to wherever, because...
Yeah.
The other thing we didn't realize was everybody was staying at Sarah's mom's place. Rob and I were staying at a hotel in Mississauga, which is
far
on the west end of Toronto. Sarah's mom lives on the far, about as far as you can go with before you're outside the GTA east end of the Greater Toronto area. I did not know this. Had I known this, I would have tried to find a hotel closer to everybody else. The reason we were staying at that hotel is because that was where Mandy and her husband were supposed to be staying, but he wasn't feeling well and didn't come, so they ended up staying at Sarah's house instead.
That's right.
So, yeah, we get to the hotel, and then we have a 2-hour drive out to where everybody else is. He was halfway home again. So it was a bit of a hectic weekend. We probably could have planned that better, but it was fantastic. We had an awesome time. We got to hang out with everybody, which was great.
Yeah, and Scott fell sick.
And Tanya got married.
Scott fell sick, and it was kind of like you don't really...
Well, he was feeling a little bit better, but you don't road trip when you're feeling that crappy. So, and so Mandy and Michael drove up together, and Jen and her husband were there. Kevin didn't come, so her boyfriend didn't come.
I didn't realize Jen drove up with her husband.
Yeah.
That's why she didn't drive with Jess.
Yeah.
I was really confused when Jess said, no, her GPS took her another way, and I'm like...
Yeah, she came up through Canada, and Jess came up through the U.S., and came up through Niagara Falls. So, we all sort of came from different areas and stuff, so... But we all had a really good time and hung out. So, that was a really, really long segue. Tangent. It wasn't even a segue because it had nothing to do with anything. I've been using my Art by Anna little farm animals bag. And where'd it go? No, really, where'd it go? They're there. My flannel sushis from Mandy. That is my DPM cozy. So that's what I've been using. And sadly, Art by Anna, our dear friend who used to live in Ottawa. Did she live in Ottawa? No, she was in Smiths Falls. She was in Smiths Falls and then moved to the Maritimes. And is now retired and is no longer dyeing yarn or sewing bags. This makes me sad. Mm-hmm. But, hey, she's been at it for a really long time. Yep. She was one of the first indie dyers in this area, wasn't she?
I think so.
So, no more. But I've got 2 of her bags, so...
And I still have yarn.
And the other thing I worked on this week, and I barely worked on it, if I'm honest. I think I was at the beginning of this row last week. I think I had done the first 4 in this row, and I did another row. That's about it.
It's coming along quickly.
So this is my worsted scrappy blanket. I wanted to have it done by this weekend. It didn't happen. It was too hot to knit. I was literally sitting there one night after I got back from Toronto, trying to do a square on it, and I was like, I can't. This is too hot. It's
Yeah.
So I haven't been knitting at all. I'm gonna see my cousin tomorrow and it's not gonna be finished, so I'm a little bummed, but that's okay.
How much more do you have?
Well, I gotta finish this row and then do 2 more. This is row 7 and I want to do 9 by 9. So it's going well. I like it. It's cute. It's definitely gonna need a wash when I'm done because the cats have been giving it some love.
Is it all acrylic?
Yes, it's all acrylic, except for it's possible this is wool. This weird multicolor thing. But everything else is acrylic. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty, very pretty.
They're all random acrylics, but I think that one's wool maybe. And there's a couple of squares of that. There's the other one. So that's just a random scrappy mitered square blanket. I didn't use a pattern. I just cast on 30 stitches and went. And I don't do the double decrease in the middle. I do 2 separate decreases because so the double decrease makes this nice defined ridge in the middle. This one doesn't. It lays flatter, and I kind of wanted something that was going to lay flatter so as to not get caught, because this is meant to be a floor blanket.
Yeah.
You toss it on the floor and let the baby play on it. And I didn't want the ridge to catch on things and whatever, so I didn't do it that way. And yeah, it's done on 4.5 millimeters, which is US 7, and I'm using my lovely little Knitter's Pride marbles that Stephanie sent me, and I love them. Thank you, Stephanie. So that's all I'm working on. I have like about 50 patterns I want to cast on, but I haven't got there yet.
No.
Now it's your turn.
It's my turn, and I've got 5 stitches, but it doesn't matter because I'm knitting on socks. But I'm gonna go to the end anyway. So now I'm done talking. Ta-da! So I am also knitting the Afterthought Everything Socks by Erica Kemp Broughton. Is that her name?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And this
yarn 5 minutes ago.
Yep. This yarn is a birthday present from Lynn, and it is Nomadic Yarns in the Get Lucky colorway.
And now that it's after your birthday, you can use it.
Yep. And this is the Progress Keeper where I was, so I got quite a bit done.
I love those colors.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I mean, it's just nice to be able to just pick it up and just work and not worry about anything. Like I put the single black line right here is where the heel's going to go. And this is being knit on 2.25 millimeters, which is a...
Hey, camera.
1.
Woo!
What'd it do?
It went out of focus when you leaned forward, and it hasn't popped back.
Oh, sorry.
There's something wrong with us.
2.25... 2.25 millimeters, which is a US 1. That's what I'm going with. Hey. The other thing I'm knitting on, that is currently not in a bag because it's being held in this bag with my So Faded sweater. Make sure I don't pull the needles out because that'd be fun. So with the stitch marker is where I was last time, and it was rolling. That's why I have to do that. But I split for the sleeves, so now it's actually looking like a sweater.
I think you should put it on.
No, and I love how well matched the green and the brown on top and the green in the bottom. The top one is 3 Irish Girls. Did I write it down?
Glenhaven Cashmerino fingering in the Fresh Earth colorway.
And the green is Sun Valley Fibers in the Forest colorway on 3.75 millimeters, which is a US 5. So I'm liking it. And I did try it on with Selma present, and she said it fits pretty well except for the back. I might have to bring in a little. Not as bad as my Marco Polo, which I have to rip out the whole button band because it's just way too big. And this is being held in my Emerald Fibers bag with the bee on it that she sent me. I absolutely love it because you can do this, and I noticed that if I want to carry it, if I take the string and put it through, it stays closed better. I love it. And the other thing I picked up was my husband's sweater, which is the Lumberjack. Let me get you a picture if I can find one, because prepared. Podcasters are. There it is. So this is the Lumberjack. You just dropped something. Which is by, oh, I didn't write who it was by. Who? Great podcaster. Wait a minute. I have no idea. It's not anywhere.
Last page, perhaps.
That's what I'm hoping. Nope. So it'll be in the show notes. It's not there. Oops. So it's
Bad podcast.
It's being knit out of Sun Valley Fibers that I picked up at Stitches last year, which is this beautiful DK extra fine. Is it superwash? No. Yes, superwash DK. So squishy.
I was going to say it's Valley Yarns. So.
Yeah.
Which is Webb's brand, by the way.
And really, why do I have a fork in my bag?
I've learned not to ask questions with you.
Must have been at work at some point. So I'm not making the pullover. I'm making a cardigan, and I'm almost at the point where it says you should join. So it's knitting up really, really nicely. And my little skull stitch markers.
Putting the microphone.
Sorry. So when it comes to that point, I'm just not going to join it, and then I'll do the whole collar thing afterwards. And this is in a bag that I made by myself, for myself. Just kind of cute.
It's all about you, isn't it?
All about me. And that's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's
so speaking of stitches, we are going to Stitches Midwest in August, and we're bringing Sarah, the Canadian knitter, with us.
First time.
Yes, it's her first time in Chicago, and it's her first time at Stitches.
Yeah.
So we're very much looking forward to this. She's very much looking forward to the deep dish pizza, and it's going to be a fun time all around.
Yep.
And I forgot to...
Dewey's was the place that was like really tiny inside, right?
Yes.
Okay. So.
With the amazeballs pizza.
I'm not a fan of deep dish. I did try it, but I'll stick with something else. They are Italian. They have other things on the menu. Now, is it somewhere that you can reserve?
I think so.
Because it was kind of crazy getting in. We were lucky last time.
Yeah, but we have all day Friday to go too, so
True.
we don't have to go on the Saturday night when it's super nuts.
busy.
So, because we're driving down on the Thursday, and we're coming back on the Sunday, so we have all day Friday to figure out touristy stuff to do and things. And so I'm very excited about that. And then Sarah is coming here for Twist.
Yep. She's
and
staying
then
at my house.
She's going to be one of the many other people who are at Rhinebeck. So we get to spend a lot of time with Sarah this year.
Yep.
I don't know who all else is coming to Rhinebeck. I've sort of forgotten who all from our group is coming.
I know. But I won't say everybody's name unless you want me to. There's like 6 of us.
I don't know.
Yeah. But who's coming from really far away? Kate.
Oh, well, Kate, yes.
Kate from Hawthorne Crafts.
Hawthorne Cottage Crafts.
Hawthorne Cottage Crafts. It's coming for 10 days to
from
stay.
Ireland.
Yeah, she's going to stay with Selma.
Yes. She and Selma are going to get a room at the lodge right next to where we have our cabins.
Mm-hmm.
And because the cabins were all sold out. And in our cabin, we're going to have Holly, Elizabeth, you, and me.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yay. Crystal decided not to come this year because she is pursuing educational activities and so on and so forth and is already away from home quite a bit. So she will come again next year.
Yep.
Hopefully. We may have to, build our own set of cabins out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Because we're expanding the group every year.
Yeah. But it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have some knit-alongs happening. And we are in the second quarter of the Travel the World by Design KAL, and the country was Europe. And continent was Europe. And the prize for this is some Geektastic fibers, superhero sock, which is $75.25, and it's the mission compliant colorway. And then a random bag that I had ordered for myself. This is the kind of the patterning. This is the Notions bag that goes with it. So that's the prize that will be drawn on.
She's just making a mess all over the place.
July 8th, because it closes next week and we're not podcasting. The third quarter prize for the Travel the World by Design, which is North America, is going to be this bag, which we haven't opened, but this is by Mina, who is now in US, so it kind of qualifies.
Mina, the Knitting Expat podcast.
Yeah, and then the Seattle Skies Dye Work, which is our friend Sarah, I've added some buttons. So that's that prize. And now for the Brown Bag Sock Club.
Now, we have not yet chosen a prize. Because we didn't say that this time.
No.
If you choose a Canadian designer, you will be eligible for a draw for a special prize, which we have not yet determined yet. It's going to be something Canadian, and we'll figure it out, and we'll let you know. But we haven't picked it yet.
No.
So,
So the Brown Bag Sock Club, the second quarter prize.
The second quarter finishes on the 30th. We're going to do the draw on the 8th, you said? So, this is what you may win.
Here it comes. Selma gave this up. Crazy Dog Yarns in the Ingrid's Understanding colorway.
Look at these colors.
This is
amazing.
local. This is local to Ottawa.
Am I making anybody nauseous?
I don't know, but it's stunning. She was excited about it.
I'm amazed she gave.
Well, she got like an ochre in that, so that's what you could win on July 8th. We're choosing from the Finish Objects thread.
So Penny, knit faster.
And then for the third quarter, we have a skein of yarn from...
I know. I'm knitting here.
I'm trying to think of what her name is. Why am I... It's Corgi.
Once Upon a Corgi.
Once Upon a Corgi. She sent 2 skeins, one like with sparkle and one without, and I kept the one without the sparkle, and it is called Zombie Kangaroo.
Are you sure you kept the one with the sparkle?
And you can see it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. And then we have
a
shawl pin to go along with that we got a while ago. And this is from Tanya. How do you say that? Holver? Sorry. For Mom Crochet on Ravelry. And she made these herself, and I'm going to open it because I want to show it.
And she made us each one as
we
well.
Each
and my
one.
mom, she made my mom one. My mom was so floored by that.
Look at this. It's gorgeous. So that is going to be the third quarter Brown Bag Sock Club.
Oh, funny story about a shawl pin.
Okay.
So, you know Tanya's wedding shawl.
Yeah.
Tanya made the acorn leaves? Is that what it was called?
I think.
Oak leaves?
Oak
leaves shawl, I think. Huge circular shawl. Very intricate lace. Very, very pretty. Weighed 1.5 pounds.
How long did it take her to knit it? 8 months?
I don't remember. But anyway. So we get there. Tanya doesn't have a shawl pin.
And she wanted to wear it over her shoulder.
This is not a problem because there were a bunch of knitters at the wedding. So she literally comes over to our group and she goes, does anybody have a shawl pin? And like 3 people were like, yep. So then her fiance comes in and he goes, oh, you found a shawl pin? And we're like, duh.
It's like asking for a darning needle.
Of course she found a shawl. Well, I did that the night before. Yeah. I was like, does anybody have a darning needle? Whoop. 3 people were like, yep.
Kind of awesome.
Because I had left mine at my hotel.
Kind of awesome if you forget something.
Well, and her father was like, you people just randomly have these things? And I'm like, we're knitters. That's how it works.
We usually have a notions case in our knitting, you know.
Mine was in my bag at the hotel.
But you weren't worried about that, were you? So, those are those knit-alongs. Another knit-along that both Lynn and I are partaking is the Stash Dash 2017, which is held by the Knit Girls, but I can't talk.
I'm contagious.
But basically run by Laura. And the reason it's from May 26th to August 20th is because she's a teacher, and those are the days that she's off, and those are the days that she wants to get a crap ton of knitting or spinning done.
Well, she's a school librarian.
But if you want to know anything about the rules, I'll have a link in the show notes. You can just click that and pop on over.
Which I would argue requires more patience than a teacher, because she doesn't just have to deal with her little class. She has to deal with all the kids in the school.
Yeah, and she often shows the books on the podcast that she's ordered for the library, and there's some pretty darn good books.
Yep.
And last but not least is the KAL 2017, which is held by Actually Knitting audio podcast, which is Michelle, which I listen to religiously. I absolutely love her. I mentioned it last episode.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
I don't remember you.
Were you here?
This. I don't know. Was I?
I am a sponsor, and I am...
Oh, that thing.
Yes, I am giving a few prizes, and I'm also giving a coupon code, which is KAL 2017, and it will get you 20% off in my shop until the end of that knit-along, which is... I think it's September. It's June 1st to September 1st.
You didn't write it down.
No, I didn't, but... and I will put a link to her podcast so you can go into the group and see what those rules and everything is. Thank you. On the boob tube.
This is funny.
So, as most of you might know, and if you don't know, you better get on YouTube like right now.
I was gonna say, what rock have you been living under?
Really?
We mentioned it like last time, and
Our Selma started a podcast. Finally! And I laugh because 5 years ago when I started this podcast, I asked her to be on it, and the look on her face was of sheer fear. But since then...
we're rapidly coming up on 5 years.
July 27th.
Oh my
so
God.
we got a plan for that.
We do? News to me.
There's always a gift. We always do a prize. Anyways.
I know nothing.
I'm more on the prize.
A lot of stuff is going over my head today.
But like I said, 5 years ago I asked her and she didn't want to, and that's how I asked Carrie after I met her, and then Lynn, and the whole story. And so the 27th is our 5-year anniversary, but I've been telling her, you should try, and she's like, I introduced her to Ravelry. I introduced her to Instagram, as she will say on her podcast. And then she started coming on ours, sporadically, and she started to like it, and people love her. They love you, Selma. I told you this. So she's got something like 1,200 views, and she's shocked. And I'm like, no, dude. There's no reason to be shocked. You are an amazing knitter, and just being around her is amazing.
She's kind of a natural at this, too.
She is. She's been knitting for a very long time since she was a young child.
And she has amazing fashion and color sense.
She does.
It's fun to watch what she makes because
it
always looks good.
I know. It's just... Anyway, so... Go check her out. We'll have a link in the show notes. She's on YouTube. She started a group last week, and I went in and did the tweaking for her because she's not used to that yet. So we got a banner. We got a badge up. They're not quite perfect, but I'm working on that. So.
And then after I watched Selma's episode, I accidentally found a new podcast.
Guess what it's called?
Selma's Knits.
And Selma told me about this.
It's not our Selma, obviously.
Did we say what Selma's podcast is?
Little Big
Knits.
Sorry. No, I don't think we did. So anyway, this Selma Knits podcast, hilarious. Her name is also Selma, obviously. It's a French podcast with English subtitles. So you will be able to understand. She's fluent.
But the fact that...
I thought it was just so funny because she's on episode 4 right now. She's just finished her 4th episode. And so she just started recently too. And I mean, what were the odds?
Yeah.
The two people named Selma were going to start podcasts at almost exactly the same time, and just... Because hers came up when I watched Selma on Little Big Knits.
Yeah.
This came up as a suggestion, and I was just like, this is so weird.
Little Big Knits, the name means something to her. I can't remember if she says it in her podcast.
I don't think she mentioned it.
But there's a reason behind that, as there is also a reason behind why she called her shop Little Creek Designs.
Well, I mean, it's what her name means in Turkish.
Yes.
Her last name means Little Creek in Turkish.
Yeah. But
is
Little
Turkish
Big...
a language?
I think so.
I'm sorry. I don't really know.
But her podcast means something too. There's a reason why she called it that. Anyhow, go check them both out. So
I really enjoyed the French one. Mainly because I didn't need to watch the subtitles.
Well, yeah, if you understand French.
But she's very fluent in English as well, so she interjects a lot of English into the podcast as well, and it was quite interesting.
I haven't watched it yet, but I mean to.
And so. I'm very intrigued by her apartment.
Okay.
It's sort of it's sort of a loft sort of design. One of the walls is a slanted rooftop sort of thing. I'm explaining very poorly, I'm sorry. Last night as I was leaving the office, I was trying to express something to my boss, and I could not think of the words in English, and I just had to finally spit it out in French, and she had no idea what I meant.
Ouch. Sorry.
That sounded like it hurt.
Yep. So flash the stash. Go for it.
I ain't flashing anything right now. So, last week, and being the first time that a bunch of us got to see each other in a while, because I had met everybody who was there, and it was kind of funny because it didn't occur to me at first that they had all not met each other.
Right.
I had already met all of them. So
I've met Jen.
Yeah, and it was the first time Mandy was meeting Sarah, which really surprised me. I don't think Jen or Jess had met Tanya before. No. Maybe Jess did. I don't remember.
I can't remember.
She must have, because she went down to see Andrea.
She did. Yeah.
So I think she did. So it was just like seeing the dynamic of everybody coming together for the first time, and It was a lot of fun. They all got to spend several hours together before we got there. Because we had to, go west and then go east and all that fun stuff. So they'd all been hanging out for a little while by the time we got there. And it was a lot of fun to see the dynamic. But, of course, it being our group, there were prezzies.
Oh my lord, it's so pretty.
There were prezzies. Mandy made me this gorgeous bag.
Oh.
It's got a little rainbow heart on the other side. I love the teacups. I love the birdies. I just love everything about it.
And it's blue. You love blue.
It is the first time I have come across a Mandy bag that does not have pink on the inside. But it does have Crazy Cat Lady.
Oh.
Which is pretty much, that's my life.
It's beautiful.
And, of course, I have like 15 different kinds of tea in here. This is all tea. Also tea. And she got me these Trader Joe's green tea mints.
They're really good, and then afterwards, if you wash them, they make nice notion tins.
What's more tea? Sorry.
Yeah, she bags loose leaf tea for us.
I got another one of these little soap things that my daughter loves.
Oh.
So, my daughter is very thrilled.
That's glycerin, right?
Yes. I got a couple of magnetic needle minders. I think that's what they are.
Yep.
They're mainly going to be fridge magnets at my house. I have a teeny little raccoon that is so cute. You can't really see him all that well. And the other one is, I think this is a corner bookshelf.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's either a bookstore or a library. And it's pretty much my house. That's what my house looks like.
Cool.
There are a lot of books in my house.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I have some, and I'm so spoiled because these are Fiverr stash. I have some worsted minis for my blanket.
Ooh.
Fiverr stash. And I have some little minis for my other blanket.
That's awesome.
There was chocolate. I can't even say I ate it. I didn't even get to eat one. I forgot them in the car and they melted. I did not get the chocolates. But that's okay. Because I have tea to enjoy at work for like the next week and a half. Oops. I'll pick that up later.
I forgot something in the kitchen that someone gave me.
And I can't wait to try these minty things. Because I like green tea. And it's got matcha and green tea extract in it. So, I'm very much looking forward to trying those. Everybody in the group has been raving about those for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the bag so much. Thank you, Mandy. And then the next day we got to the wedding. And Tanya had a bag like this for each of us. With, I will say it, the most obnoxious tissue paper.
Yeah. There are sparkles in my
It was
brand
the
new
tissue
car.
paper with the big sparkles on it. And they come off on everything.
They are in my brand new car, Tanya. She warned me.
Rob and I were, and this is not TMI, so, Rob and I were lying in bed at the hotel we were on. And he looks over at me, and he's got this weird look on his face. And he just reaches over and picks sparkles off my belly. They were everywhere. So, Tanya got us these. They're all different, but I got a gorgeous little box bag with flowers. I believe she got these at not the Frolic, but the other thing. The other thing. This is from Quilting Cousins Canada, Denise Johnston.
Let's look.
But she went to one of those craft shows with Sarah, I think, and it's got this really cute pink and orange fabric on the inside. And it's got a piece of cardboard in the bottom to keep it flat.
Genius.
So I kind of love it. And I think this is going to become my new notions pouch because mine is not big enough. And she bought us all these really gorgeous notebooks from IKEA, which I super love.
Mm-hmm. They're not lined, which is awesome.
No, I know, they're blank paper.
Yeah.
And I got this cute little notebook, which is just Post-it notes. Mm-hmm. I love it. I love Post-it notes. Except, and my boss kind of laughed at me. I love Post-it notes, except the ones that come with that little holder that they come out one side and then the other side. And then
I love those.
I hate those with a passion.
I have a holder for it. That's why I like it.
Well, so did I when I got there. The guy I'm replacing was showing me all the office supplies that I already had and stuff. And I said, well, that you can take with you because I don't want it. And he says, oh, well, the boss loves these. I said, great, give them to her. Bye-bye. I don't want them. I hate those. And little flaggy stickies. And the best part ever. I'm sorry, there's also other stuff in here. I think the red pen was, because she looked at me funny when I pulled out the red pen, so I don't think the red pen was supposed to be in there. I think it just kind of dropped in there. But I also have a mini, and she made us little stitch markers, well, progress keepers.
Yep.
But the best thing ever. Everybody got a skein of yarn. I didn't. I got this. Can you see that? That's knit. But more importantly, see what it says up here? Unravel to knit socks or shawls or something else.
Sock blank. Or a knit blank.
It's a sock blank. Well, it's a, I mean, you're supposed to start unraveling it and start knitting from it. I love this so much. And this, I think, is going to be a baby surprise jacket. It is superwash. And it's got a lot of different colors in it. I don't have my... Oh, yes, I do. Okay. It's so cool. And I think this is going to make a gorgeous baby surprise jacket. So that's what that's going to be. And I don't know if she made these. I think she made them.
I think so.
But we all had a little ball of yarn. Crocheted, I believe, by Tanya. Is that not the coolest thing ever? Everybody had a different color, and mine was rainbow. Because I'm special. So these were super cool, and we all got a huge kick out of these.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who got a rainbow. But anyway, so yeah, they're crocheted and stuffed balls.
Yeah.
And they're super cute.
Yep.
I think I'm going to put that on my desk at work because it's not going in my house because my cats will take off with it.
Well, definitely.
So that's my stash. Did I stretch that out long enough?
Yep.
What is this one? Kirby and Krish. Oh, this one's good.
So I also got a bag from Tanya.
Eh.
Get it over here without.
Did the flowers last?
Yep.
Wow.
So I got a green one because she knows me. Green pen.
Oh, okay. So maybe I was supposed to get a red pen.
And this is my knitted one. Mm-hmm. It's showing up more
teal.
Blue.
It's showing up teal. It's green. It's Kelly green.
Yeah. Which I love. So, Post-its as well. And I got a progress keeper with a green ring on it. You're not going to see that. She got me some frog Post-its.
Those are awesome.
I know. There's 2 of them in there. I love them. I didn't bring them to work yet because I'm like, mini skein.
Same mini, same notebook.
And the notebook. I love it. What else did I get? I bought myself a book this week. I've been wanting it.
She's got a big box over there.
Yeah, that's the swap package. I bought myself this book this week because I've been wanting it for a while, and I figured, hey, Mini Skein Knits by Lark Crafts. There are so many patterns in there.
Sarah actually bought herself a mini set from No Makers yesterday, and I was like, must resist buying all the minis.
Yeah, so I bought myself that because I've been wanting it for a while. I haven't taken it out of the package.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should. Sorry. This is from Open Skies Yarns, which is our friend, Jeanette.
Open Skies Dye Works.
No, Open Skies Yarns.
Is she not Dye Works?
No. Open Skies Yarns.
Oh.
And this is the Summer Skies at Night. And I saw this. And, you know, because she's a great friend, she actually put one on hold for me and then mailed it. And this little thing here. Oh, I'm on the wrong side. That?
The little white and green thing.
Is a progress keeper.
It's a little lily.
It's a flower. that her son made because he's saving up for something, and she has those in the shop, and it's so cute.
And tea, of course, because we're us.
And I didn't see the note because I didn't realize she put a note in there and I didn't open it. So I'll look at that after. But at the same time, she offered to send something for you guys. So we're going to have a giveaway.
I'm still not convinced because this is way too pretty to give away. Go ahead.
She sent a...
That first paycheck better come soon because I need to order some of this.
Pack of mini skeins. And
sparkly.
There's a huge progress keeper there.
Show the other side. There we go.
Those are the mini skeins.
Which set is that? Is that the is that the Pride and Prejudice ones?
I don't want to open it. I'm trying to get this. It doesn't say.
You're being awfully crinkly.
I know. And on there is a little ice cream
that
progress keeper that her son made. And
on the other side, that almost looks like a clover cutter. It isn't, but it's
no,
there's a sand dollar progress keeper here.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a giveaway this week.
And you get tea too.
And you get tea too, yes. And she has recently lost her job. And she has said it on the podcast. She was working part-time for a...
I don't know. I haven't seen that episode yet.
You don't get paid for it.
Internship.
No, it's a company.
Nonprofit,
thank you. But she's in a different state as a nonprofit. And I guess either they sold or they changed management, I'm not sure. But that person didn't want someone from another state doing that. And
didn't want teleworkers.
No. And I mean...
that's unfortunate.
She was doing it for extra money, for extra things. Her husband's paycheck pays for, everything. But since she lost her job, she hasn't had the heart to tell her daughter that she might not be able to sign her up for fall dance classes.
Sorry, I had a Halls and then had a sip of Diet Pepsi.
So she wants to get some business in the shop. And I thought, oh, well, I'll tell the story about your daughter because, come on, we got to send Faye to dance classes. I'm pretty sure her daughter
is pretty damn adorable. Yes, her daughter is Faye.
Okay. Phew. I met her when I was there in October for the wedding. So I will post these as a giveaway this week. I will come up with a question. But if you're ever so kind, go over to her shop. Grab something. She has got some amazing yarns.
Her color sense is also pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
And her yarn bases are really nice.
And she did a show recently, and she has leftovers from what she dyed up. And I almost wanted one of everything. I really did. But saying that, she has a pre-order up for this. So if you really want this, you can pre-order it.
What is that one?
This is the Summer Skies at Night.
Okay.
Superwash Merino 7525. It's her soft sock base. But I mean, look at that. And when you look at the picture online as to what this represents, she nailed it.
Yep.
And then, in the Bookish Stitcher podcast group, we had a swap, and it was either a dishcloth or a mini sock or a shorty sock swap, and I chose the sock one. And obviously my partner does owl crepe, but that's not what's in there. So I got my package. I got a Starbucks card, this beautiful card with like knitting prints on it, washi tape, because green, because
is that washi tape or is that the...
Sorry, not washi tape. Highlighter tape. Thank you. She's here for a reason. I got this candle.
Aim for my looks.
Candlelight Company in creamy vanilla swirl. Oh my. I want to roll myself in it. I know. I got a Knit Happy tape, measuring tape, because who can't have enough of those? I got these little square, they're Tempe yarn and fiber stitch markers, but they're square. It's really cute. One of these Perfect Notions tins.
Which you're very fond of.
Yes, I absolutely love them. She did her research. I sent her a huge questionnaire, and then...
I think we've gone to like 3 or 4 festivals where you're like, I have to find those.
Yeah, and I got some for my husband because he likes stuff in those. And then... she's a bag maker.
As she teases us with the yarn and then puts it back.
Yes, that's coming
She doesn't want me to touch it. That's why.
A beautiful little sock project bag maker. I love the fabric.
That is really pretty.
Yep. because she read my questionnaire.
Good Lord.
Yes.
That's a lot of M&Ms.
It is.
That's a sharing size.
That's a what?
A sharing size.
What's sharing?
You know, have you ever seen the packages that they sell at the convenience store? It says sharing size on it. I'm like, nah, that's not sharing size, honey. That's sharing size.
And then I was floored by this yarn. I have never tried it. It's called Shire. Green, obviously. But she sent me some Tosh sock. I know. Yeah. So thank you, Brenda. I loves it. Your package is going out today.
She's sleeping with this ball of yarn tonight.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, Sean.
Okay, so back to the show. I think that's all.
Are you done?
Oh, no, I have one last thing.
Yeah.
There's a baby boy coming in November in the families. My nephew is having, well...
See, from the picture, that looked way smaller. I had no context to tell me how big the ball was.
I know.
She was sending me texts going,
anyways, I went with a more subtle blue. I sent her texts of all kinds of colors. I said to Sean, what color should I make? He's like, do you know the sex? I'm like, no. He's like, blue.
I'm all for non-conforming to gender color whatevers, but
yeah,
I like non-traditional colors for baby
I
stuff.
went with
that
this.
Is really pretty.
It's Barcelona wool loops and threads, and it's the...
That's not wool.
Well, it's not wool. It says yarn. Sorry. Loops and threads, not wool. It's 100% acrylic. I was going to go with the Caron, the big cakes of the spiral colors, but it said hand wash.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that. I need something that she can just throw into the machine. So I got 2 of these. They're 328 yards.
Yeah, you should get a decent blanket out of that.
Yeah,
I
they're
really
bulky.
Like the colors.
They're bulky. And I was online with Tanya, as I said earlier, going over what kind of blanket to make, and I wasn't sure. And she sent me this. It's a garter rib baby blanket. Fun. And I thought that, with the colors, it'll really work well.
It's a free pattern, but we don't want to give too much of it away.
So look at that. I think it's going to be gorgeous.
Yep.
And this is bulky, right? Yep. It's bulky. So it's going to go quickly, and I don't want to do like last time. The baby was born, sent the sweater, and it only fit for a month. So if I can get it done fast...
Maddie Phillips, the baby, can finally fit in the sweater I knit her.
I still have her gift here. I've never seen her.
She sent me a text the other day that, look, the sweater finally fits her. And like, George has already outgrown his.
Mm-hmm. But if I can get it done quick enough, I'm going to make a second one for Zane, the big brother, or something else for him so that he gets something at the same time. Because he didn't get to wear the sweater I made him for very long.
It was a pretty small sweater.
It was.
And that's why I usually go 6 to 12 months.
Yeah,
that
I should have.
It lasts longer.
So that's it. That's a pile of stash.
Are you sure? Didn't forget something down there somewhere?
No, I'm good. So now we have I'm broke, save me money. Coupons.
So broke.
So
no makers, we could really use a coupon code. I really want some minis. They have Wonder Woman minis that's what Sarah ordered, and I was drooling over them yesterday, but
just
I really
by the time you get them here...
Yeah, the shipping is killer, so I usually have stuff shipped to Rob's house. Yeah. And
well, they exchange too, isn't that?
But they're big minis. They're not little ones. They're big ones.
10. The ones I got from her were 10. These are bigger?
Yeah, I think they're 20s.
Okay.
They're nice.
So coupons. As I mentioned earlier, my shop, Tangled Skeins CA, 20% off with the coupon PALCAL 2017 until September 1st.
Emerald Fibers has a 15% off until the 30th of June, so that's this week. Mm-hmm. Pay attention. The code is Tangled15.
That was my yellow bag with the bee. That's who makes those. Woolridge Designs, 15% off until August 31st, and the code is 2TANGLED, all spelled out, 15.
I really should bring that bag back because it's got my scrap blanket in it, so that's why you haven't seen it in a while. Annie Pearl has 15% off until the end of the year, and the code is Tangled15.
Geektastic Fibers has 15% off until the end of the year, and it's the number 2, Tangled.
Frog Peak Creations has 10% off until the end of the year. The code is 2T, the number 2, T2017.
6 Munchkin Stitching has 10% off and ongoing coupon code. I did that for you.
She put them out of order for me.
And it's 2 Tangled, 10.
And Bags by Awesome Granny, which was supposed to come before 6 Munchkin Stitching, is 10% off ongoing, no expiry date, and the code is the number 2 TS10.
It would have been funny if I messed it up doing it for
and then
you.
I didn't saying it the second time. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's about it. I'm probably going to go home and sleep some more.
I think I'm catching something, and
you didn't get it from me.
No, you came home with the plague from Mandy.
Well, yeah, Mandy came down with it the morning before the wedding, and Jen, Jess, and I all came home with it. And because I started having a sore throat.
How did Sarah get away with it?
She felt crappy for a day or two, and then she felt fine. So she must have gotten more sleep than we did, or drank more water, or something. But anyway, she's okay. So yeah, I started having a sore throat on the drive home on Sunday. And then felt kind of cruddy the next morning when I had to start my new job. Felt cruddier the next day, and Wednesday I felt like a walking corpse. I felt
Was it
awful.
Tuesday or Wednesday? I said, "Do you want to do lunch?" And she was
Wednesday.
like,
I was like,
walking plague.
I'm not walking. I'm not going anywhere.
I don't think.
And thank God my predecessor left a box of Kleenex on his desk because I went through the whole thing the first day. And then yesterday I was feeling a little bit better, or Thursday I was feeling a little bit better, and then yesterday I was feeling pretty okay, aside from the fact that my lungs were trying to exit my body. And now I feel fine. I just still sound like crap, so. It's also par for the course for me. Whenever I start a new job, I end up being sick, so. And poor Mandy felt so bad, but I was like, you know what? Totally. Yeah. Apparently we talked too much, and the thing only records for an hour, so it cut us off.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mandy felt bad, but it was totally worth it to be able to hang out with everybody all weekend. A little cold isn't a big deal. I could get over it. And, yeah, because I would have coughed on you all the way home. Just to make sure you got it.
Well, I'm going to be seeing Sarah. I'm planning on going to visit Michael and Mandy, and might find a way to see Jess and Jen at the same time. But I will see those two at Rhinebeck, so it's not.
And I will be seeing the 4 of them at Vermont Sheep and Wool.
When is that?
September 30th and October 1st.
Huh.
I have a place to stay, so.
Maybe I can find a place to stay.
Maybe. You'll have to figure it out.
Anyways, if not, I can rent a hotel, but that's far away. Who knows?
Anyway,
I'm planning on going.
We're going to be at Stitches, and we're going to be at Twists, and we're going to be at Rhinebeck, and I am going to be at Vermont Sheep and Wool. I don't know if Sue's going to make it yet, but that's.
Maybe I'll make that the weekend I go with hubby, and he can do some beer stuff while I'm doing the yarn stuff.
There you go.
So,
next weekend is Canada Day. This is a long weekend for us because we live in Quebec, and Quebec has a bizarre holiday at the end of June. We won't get into the politics behind that because I don't agree with it, but there we are. I live here. I have to live with it. So, yeah, it's going to be crazy. There's going to be fireworks. It's going to be insane. People will be getting drunk, and I will be hanging out elsewhere. Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to like it because it was not as big. Well, we used to go to my uncle's place in the country to celebrate, and we would have a bonfire, and we would just, it was a weekend by the lake. It wasn't.
Yeah, I have a teenager, and probably I call them my own little brat pack. There's about 5 or 6 of them that usually end up at my house because it's just the house to end up at. So we will see you on the 8th. We will be doing the draws for the 2 second quarter KALs that we had going on, and I will put up the giveaway thread for the mini skeins, and
Rob and I will likely be enjoying the insanity downtown on Canada Day.
I will be going because guess who was just announced to go?
I know.
U2 is coming to Canada Day.
Now.
Yes.
Bono and The Edge are coming. Just the 2 of them. But still, they're going to be on Parliament Hill on Canada Day.
And he's going to speak, and oh god, I'll be in love with the accent.
His accent's weird.
I know it's weird.
He's like he's got like a non-accent. It's a little odd to hear him talk. He doesn't have a typical Irish accent, and any of the typical Irish accents. It's almost like it's like an Americanized Irish accent almost. It's a little
maybe there's a part of Ireland
unusual.
That doesn't have the quite.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of different Irish accents. Because I mean, Northern Ireland doesn't sound like like somebody from Belfast doesn't sound like somebody from Ireland, from Dublin, and somebody from Cork doesn't sound like somebody from Dublin. There's a bunch of different accents, but his is one I'd never heard before, so it was a little odd to me. It's almost like a Canadianized.
So if it's just the two of them, they won't be singing?
Well, yeah, they're probably going to do something. Anyway.
Anyways, they're in Toronto right now. That's how come... I don't know how they decided to come here, but I don't care.
This is going to be Rob's first Canada
Day.
Oh. So he figured, you know, first time, go big or go home.
Yeah. We usually go up mid-afternoon, do some of the festivities, find a restaurant, and then go back to the hill. So
see, I've done it once downtown, and I was 14.
So if you want to meet up, we'll go do a time and a place, because cell activity is nuts on Canada Day.
Yeah, and we're probably going to have people with us as well, so we'll see.
So that's it.
I know we're going to go have dinner, though.
Where are you going?
Boys.
We went there last time we went, not last year, the year before.
Loves me some Fat Boys. Yeah. It's Southern barbecue style place.
I mean, on a normal Canada Day, all the restaurants are insane, but the time we went, we had like a 5-minute wait. It's because it's kind of a little bit out of the core, which is fine. So, okay.
Good for me. We'll stop babbling now, I promise. Because I need a nap.
So happy knitting. See you in 2 weeks. Everybody, have fun. Bye.
Happy Canada Day.
Yeah.
And happy 4th of July, because that's going to happen before we see you too.
If I can find my mouse, I'll be okay. Bye.
So what's next? Knit-alongs. There are 4 of them. 2 of them are ours. The first one is the Travel World by Design KAL, which the second quarter was Europe, and it ends on the 30th, but we're only going to draw the prize on the 8th, which is in 2 weeks when we record. But did you want to show the prize? It's the one with the yarn bag together. Got this all set up, like, you know me. So Geek Tastic, not telling you yet. I said we would show it. So Geek Tastic Fibers is the yarn, and this is her superhero sock, and the color is mission compliant. Very pretty. And this is just an oddball bag set that I got a while ago for myself, but I'm not really into the colors, so I thought there's a little tiny, she wasn't feeling it. No, there's a little tiny notions pouch. I even forget who it was by. It's so long ago. Can you put it on here? So, no, okay. It's probably inside. But anyways, that's the price for that. We also have the second, still on the Travel by Design, the third quarter, we have chose a country that is North America. And we decided not to do the Canada KAL because we have KALs going on, but if you choose a Canadian designer and finish your project in time, we'll have a special prize drawn for that. So this is Crazy Dog Yarn. She's local to Ottawa. And Selma donated this, and it's the Ingrid's Understanding on her Superwash Merino Magnet. She gave that up. Yeah, she was so thrilled when she got that. She gave it up. And yes, it's 80/20 nylon Superwash. But I mean, look at this. Look at this. Gorgeous. So that's going to be... what am I doing? Yes, no. There was the only one that wasn't labeled. No, it's labeled. This is the wrong prize. This is the Brown Bag Sock Club. I specifically asked. I know. So it's the other yarn. What is it? It says Brown Bag Sock Club? Yeah. Oh, what did I do? That's Canadian. That's local. Yeah, I guess that's what we were giving away. I thought we were giving away... No. Oh, right, because it's for the third quarter, which is Canada. No, that's the second quarter prize for the Brown Bag Sock Club. That's organized to use that. It says right on it. Oh, okay. So that's the prize for the Brown Bag Sock Club, second quarter. We haven't got to that yet. Give me that back. Sorry. Ignore us. So we're in the second quarter. Yes. Okay, this is the Travel World by Design prize for the third quarter, and that's the second quarter, I think. And we haven't figured out the prize for the sticker